Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on Twitter at MMMshow75. And before I forget, Mass Republic is on Amazon. That's a terrible drop.
Get your fucking boner pills. Lucha Loco boner pills. They're not selling the boner pills as much as I tried to pitch that to Kevin. He's not having it. So maybe they're working on their own. Maybe they're gonna put him in the Lucha Loot crates instead. But nah, they're selling shirts, Mass Republic shirts on Amazon. And if you're a Prime member like me, you get free shipping. And if you're a Prime member like me, you also get Prime Video. And there's some good shit on there. So hit me up for some suggestions. Just say, Casey, I got Amazon Prime, so I could get free shipping on my Mass Republic shirts, and I just want to know what a cool movie is to watch. I've got your back, because Amazon Prime is actually a better streaming service than Netflix, in my opinion.
Better than Netflix? Well, Netflix has a lot of good shows now. Like, if you're watching TV shows, it's probably better, but if you're watching movies, it's getting a little thin.
It is, and the horror selection on Amazon, I'm just not used to having a cough button.
I really enjoyed dressing like a man.
What the fuck? What's this cacophony of sounds in the background?
Where are you?
I can't hear what they're saying. That's Justin.
Can they see us?
Hi.
Yeah.
We're live, Byron. Welcome to your own show.
Yeah, we're on the air.
Do you need headphones?
We were just going to talk so much crap about Byron not being here because he was so excited about this episode, and then he didn't show, and then now all of a sudden there he is.
You should totally punch Byron in the face because our viewers would love it.
So that's Casey.
Byron, can you even hear us?
This is Nora.
Hi, Nora.
Hey, Nora.
Hi, Byron. Can you hear us, Byron?
We can't hear you.
You can't hear us. Do you have? Okay. Do you have a set of iPod earbuds?
I have. Yeah.
Do you need headphones?
Yeah, you should do that. Anyway, Casey, while Byron is getting himself together and getting muted by me, you said you want to start off talking about something tonight?
Oh yeah, we lost a great man over this last week.
I'm still here. What are you talking about?
Well, you weren't Godzilla, Justin.
That's true. I was not.
Haruo Nakajima, the original Godzilla, he played him for years, all the way up to Godzilla versus Gigan, which was the shit. He passed away due to pneumonia, 88 years old. And man, if you would have told me he was 88 and I didn't know his filmography and that he's been acting since like the 50s, I would have called you full of shit, because this man was full of such youthful exuberance that I thought he was in his 60s, man. Like, I met him at a con. I met him at Monster Palooza. They flew him in from Japan to do the show. And he didn't speak a lot of English, but fuck, man, he was so excited to see the fans. Like, you go to a lot of cons, you can see who's just barely putting up with fans and who's like really loving that they're there, And this guy was so excited that there were all these people here that he's never met to see him. And he was just like really glad to meet you. Super nice, warm person. And this guy went through fucking hell to be Godzilla. And, a lot of our listeners are wrestling people, obviously. And, if you think Mick Foley went through some shit for your entertainment, you got to see what this guy went through in that Godzilla suit. Literally almost drowning on his own sweat. Almost drowning in a fake ocean as well, because once you fall down, you can't get up. That suit, the first suit, was made out of ready-mix concrete and latex. So it weighed 200 pounds. And so if you fall down, you're not getting the fuck back up, and unless someone's helping you. And sometimes you get a little too close to one of the buildings exploding, you catch on fire. You don't even know you're fucking on fire until people are running at you to try to put you out and shit. It's crazy. There's a documentary called Men in Suits that goes into this pretty deeply. I highly recommend it to people. It used to be on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it still is, but it's a fucking great documentary. And despite all of this fucked up shit, he was still the nicest man in the world. and he still loved what he did, and he thought it was worth it because he entertained all these people around the world. Super fucking nice man. Horrible loss, and he's somebody that's been getting a lot of love lately, a lot of tribute pieces to him and things like that. And that's because a lot of people met him and they got to know what a nice guy he was and how fucking cool this guy was that, you know, played Godzilla, man. Fucking icon, you know? So rest in peace, Nakajima-san. You're the fucking man.
Nakajima-san. Nakutsura. Byron, we have a question from the chat room. Finish dealing with your bed bug problem. Is your bed bug problem fixed, Byron? Hi, Earth to Byron, are you there?
Which one are you talking to?
You, about your bed bug problem. Is that why you're not at your abode tonight?
You don't really joke about that in New York.
I'm kidding.
They're gonna just like throw a blanket over him and set him on fire outside if they think he actually has bed bugs. We shouldn't joke about that.
It's normal to be itchy.
I thought you
wake up every day.
I thought you lived in New Jersey anyway.
Oh, he wishes.
No,
dude.
I haven't sunk that low in my life yet.
Hey.
Oh,
look,
I'm sure there's a couple of
Jersey-
exits that are perfect for you.
fucking New Jersey's a beautiful place that brought us Trauma and Jay and
Trauma's
Silent
great.
Bob. And,
Teanet's nice. Somerset's nice. Not every place in New Jersey is horrifying.
Onita was just there. The great Atsushi Onita was just there.
Yeah, that was a fun time. He held up that promotion for more money, and all their exploding bats didn't work.
You know, it's great because he wasn't smart enough to do that when he was going to do it in LA. He tried holding them up before he got here. So they just said, fuck you, stay home. This time,
Yeah,
he went
you have
there
to-
and did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so people saw him get in the building, and that's when he hold people up for money. I come from the Jim Hellwig school of holding people up for money, so I know what's up.
he's
Warrior
getting
University.
smarter. Onita is a Japanese wrestler. He's the king of death matches, like exploding death matches, and he did one in New Jersey recently. And so before the match he was advertised for, he held him up for more money, and instead of doing a one-on-one, he did a 3-on-3 match instead, so he had to do less stuff.
Mhm.
And they had barbed wire bat stuff explode when they hit each other with them. It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also like 63 years old, I think. So he's a little old for this shit, but he just keeps doing it. So it's
Yeah.
great.
Dante is killing me in the chat room. By the way, when you're done watching us, go over and watch Dante's show because he'll probably be starting right about the time we finish. The Way Too Real
guys,
Lucha Click Party. No, I have a question for you first, and then you can ask your question, Byron. You're actually a TV producer, right?
Yes.
You know the difference between like landscape and horizon, right? Why is your
The
phone straight
answer
up
to
and
this-
down? Turn your phone
to
the
this
other direction.
Is
Come on, people want to fill up their whole screen with the image, man. Shot composure.
no. Trust me, I make fun of people
Oh,
for
look
doing
at
this all
that!
the time.
Well, good. So you won't be offended that you got made fun of this time. What's up, Casey?
I gotta say, Paula O'Keefe in the chat saw Men in Suits, said it's fucking dope. It was just on TV recently. And
Hey,
so check your
I have
local
a question.
listings.
Yeah, Byron, what's your question?
Is
What's up?
Mr. Krabs in the chat room asking stupid questions again?
No.
No,
No.
not yet. No.
Holy shit. No.
Mr.
he's-
Krabs is not off of work yet. He's back at your apartment cleaning
Oh,
up
okay.
the bed bugs.
There's
still.
a guy in our. So this is on YouTube right now, live, and there's this one guy, Mr. Krabs, and he asks the most inane, dumb questions. So he's a great guy. He's a
No,
loyal
I
listener.
fucking he
But
he
it's
asks
just-
the
it's
best
fun.
questions at the most appropriate times. He is not a living non sequitur, and I fucking love that guy.
They are the best questions, mostly because they annoy
Do you have
the
any
shit out
questions?
of Byron.
What's that?
You're a host on the show now.
Hey, that's awesome.
Do you have any questions? This is Justin.
Hi.
Did you know Justin has the same birthday as me, except many years before me?
Well, when you
And,
say many, it's not that many. It's not like a decade or anything.
See,
It's
dude,
like,
he's cheating, so we can't ask Nora who she thinks is the youngest member of our cast.
yeah, exactly.
That is the thing that we do.
That is.
Well, I mean, if we're going by
Right?
youth
Right
and
now.
good looks, it's me. Well,
It's
maybe.
Nora. Well, Justin's
Nora.
half black, so he's gonna look younger than us no matter what.
Lucky.
But
What is that supposed to mean? Is that some kind of racial comment, Byron?
Yes.
Are you
Dude,
being
it's
racist?
a compliment. It's like
Yes.
black
Because
don't
black
crack.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. It's
Man, have you guys
racism.
seen
Wow.
Morgan
You guys
Freeman
are
recently?
genetically-
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Byron, are you going to insult him again by saying he has a large penis too? Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is terrible.
No, that was
all
part
these
of
stereotypes.
that was working on the show up in the mountains, and we had this contest March 1st as our birthday, and we had different games that we played. One of the games,
yeah.
which was
Keep going.
one of the games.
What were the games,
was
Byron? What were the games?
By the way, like we ended up even.
No,
Like,
what
we
were the
tied.
games? Build a
Everyone got
wooden
so drunk that they
yeah,
thought
build
I
a
won.
wooden airplane, a some
Yeah.
kind of throwing contest, some kind of drinking
He broke
event.
his shoulder right beforehand too.
Yes,
Yes.
Justin nearly got
And-
killed in an automobile accident while filming the show. So
no, he
Byron,
slipped on ice.
Yeah, but
he
my
was the
arm-
only
he
one who
rolled
slipped on ice.
in a truck. He rolled
My-
in a truck.
My
No.
arm was dangling from the
No.
socket, Byron. You took advantage of a cripple. That's what you did. This is how you play.
Whatever
This
it
is
takes
this
to
is
win.
not. Yeah, exactly. You dirty evil ginger.
Whatever it
You're
takes.
just a mean
But
evil
one
person.
of the games was not fair because they played on the stereotype of him being half black. By the way, he's as much ginger as I am. He doesn't want to tell anyone this.
Wait, no,
And,
you're talking about the measuring contest? I won
so
that fair
there-
and square.
So the game consisted of the showrunner, who was the MC of the game, gave Justin a ruler, gave me a ruler.
How about that
His
Lucha
ruler was like a
Underground
yardstick. Mine
chat
was
room?
a regular size ruler.
Great episode.
And
He
then
gave
go,
you as much
"You guys
ruler
are-
as you needed.
and that's how you guys met?
You get the ruler.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
And it wasn't a yardstick, it was a meter stick, to be fair. So my results
the
really
same
only
thing.
count in Canada.
And
Whatever.
I met Byron in high school. We went to high school together. He was a good 4 years
We
ahead
did.
of me. No, he's actually the youngest one on the podcast. But yeah, we would just talk about wrestling, and that's why our Spanish sucks, because it was during Spanish class.
Yeah, we're in Spanish class.
For
No,
Urban
I would
and
say,
Dante, baby arms have nothing on me.
Okay.
No, look, before we get way off track, I did want to say tonight that I was going through some of our stats, and I'm pretty sure of any podcast out there that talks about wrestling, we may have the highest percentage of female listeners and viewers. So to the ladies out there who actually enjoy and watch our program, I have to say thank you very much, and I apologize for all of the highly inappropriate things we've said over the years, but we're probably not going to stop, so sorry about your damn luck.
I don't know what you're
Here's
talking
backstory on
about,
that.
Justin.
We really do. We
so
have a very
Lucha
high
Underground-
female listenership. It's very interesting.
The Lucha Underground.
That's awesome.
The Lucha Underground show, they had, I think, the first world champion that was a female wrestler. Her name was Sexy Star.
Pure greatness.
She's a great character, and it's really well written. Except Casey is still upset about her being champion to this
Because
day.
she's a horrible wrestler and a horrible person in real life. I'm just saying that. I'm just passing along information I've heard. So
Yeah.
what's she gonna do? Complain to the bosses of the podcast and get me fired like she did Superfly? What?
Oh, man. She's going to make you take your mask off.
Lucha Libre and Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
No,
Alright.
she's done a bunch of bullshit.
Hey, speaking of a bunch of bullshit,
Yeah.
I think we now have to officially cop to the fact that Vampiro, Johnny Mundo, Taya, and everyone completely hoodwinked the entire wrestling world.
You know what's funny is they hoodwinked you guys. I've been in on this since the beginning. I was let in very early on, and I was just acting hoodwinked, and I'm a fucking
Guys.
excellent actor.
Guys, Guys,
Yes, Byron. Yes.
Nora doesn't know what you're talking about. Can you fill her in on the backstory?
It's all good. I'll catch up.
She really wants to know.
Well, I don't have enough time to recap the entire story, but needless to say, down in AAA in Mexico, there was an angle where Taya was stripped of her championship, and her boyfriend, the triple mega whatever champion of all the belts.
None of these words make sense without more backstory.
So
I'll
It's okay.
Wikipedia it later. It's all
yeah.
good.
Basically,
Eventually,
there's-
this will be the stuff of
Yeah.
legend because it turned into the biggest work ever. And kudos to Vampiro, who looked like a complete moron through the whole thing. But I hope that people now give him respect for taking it on the chin and letting himself look like a moron. But it came out basically, I was reading through Lucha Blog and some of Meltzer's stuff, and basically people realized through the backstage video segments and where they were filmed and how they were filmed that the timelines of the story that was put out and the story that was real did not match up.
Yeah, like maybe don't film shit in the same room if it's supposed to take place in different cities. Maybe.
No, but who cares? It's great that it's
So
a
like
work
they did
now.
shows over the course of months.
It's
And
fine.
they play vignettes from backstage on these different shows, but they're all in the same arena.
Yeah,
it's-
and that
it's,
arena was used a day before this timeline was supposed to have started. So it made it very obvious that everybody was in on it. The whole thing was a work. Though I do believe there's still a little piece of truth to the whole thing, which is the fact that Taya really was not available for a date that they wanted her, and they wanted her to do this thing with Sexy Star. And I do believe she was legit pissed, probably at Sexy Star, for not letting her have the time and ability to drop the belt in a way that was a little bit more professional. And I do believe that
Here's
that
the
part of it was
interesting
real.
Here's the real
and from
interesting
there,
part that I
Taya
want
was
Casey's
never
opinion
gonna.
on.
I don't think Taya was ever really gonna quit. I think she was accepting of the situation, just not very happy about it. I think they used that to work up a little, shoot feel to the whole thing, and but looking at it in retrospect, if you look at Mundo's promos afterwards, dear Lord, how could that have ever been a real shoot?
I know.
Hey, so Mundo was he was mad at Vampiro in the storylines, and he would call him a turd cutter.
It's great name.
If someone's mad at you and calls you a turd cutter, you're not sweating it. You're like, this guy's a nerd. I don't care.
I don't know. That's actually, I don't know. Turd cutter might actually get me heated. Just saying.
We'll keep that one in our pocket then. But I just want to say that I was right, and the chat room knows that I was right because I said if it is a work, only AAA is stupid enough to do an English language work when they don't even have an IPPV deal for this pay-per-view that they're hyping in English. So they're doing an English angle for a Spanish-speaking audience, and nice work. Not even subtitles.
Yes. So, but at the end of the day,
Casey's
the part that was really a shoot was Taya being a little miffed, and that is, I heard from way too many people that know her and saw her that weekend and right after it that she was walking around pissed, and I don't think she was working it that deep and working her friends and whatnot. I mean, Dante's even saying in the chat room right now that CJ said that she was pissed to him too, and I think she said it to Thunder and a couple other people. Like, look, she was legit upset, but the rest of it after that, all the work, guys, all the freaking work. They got us, and kudos to them.
The funny thing about this is the wrestler that Casey doesn't like, Sexy Star, had a disagreement. Her had to leave the company AAA, and then and so this whole thing revolves around her coming back to work for them and them just giving her the female championship.
Oh, she deserves it.
Yeah, sure she does.
I say with no irony whatsoever, she deserves it. Hey, Casey, does Rey Horus really have heat with Konnan?
Sounds like it. Fuck, man. Okay, so here's what happened.
Sorry, Byron, I just muted you for a second because the background noise was loud, but you can unturn yourself off mute anytime you want.
Okay, so Konnan did Podcast Boom, his Spanish language podcast.
Boom.
And he said that Rey Horus has a big ego and didn't want to work the second card the second match in the card in TJ because he's used to being on top. And that's the thing that some of our American fans might not really understand. There really is kind of a hierarchy of matches and where you're placed on a card in traditional Lucha Libre. But you know what? Crash isn't exactly traditional Lucha Libre. They got a pretty stacked card from top to bottom. Being in their second match doesn't mean the same as being in the second match on like a CMLL show or even a AAA show.
No, Konnan wants to throw heat out there early and then kind of wane off in the middle for an intermission and then come back big, right?
Right. And if you look at his card setup, you kind of see that. Like he'll put some big stuff at the beginning and then kind of pick it back up again like that. He's not doing traditional booking. There might be more to it. Like maybe he was offered main events somewhere else and decided to do that instead. But yeah, now he's kind of getting buried. So like that's directly Konnan burying him, and that's how we got the news in the first place.
That's harsh.
So yeah, there's some heat there, but it sucks because he's a dope wrestler, man. Like, you know, we love him as Dragon Azteca as much as we make fun of him on the show. And
Dadge. Good old Dadge.
But I'm sorry that he has a character that his whole character is that he's really stupid. That is his character. Like if you look at any scene that he's in, just think, what's the dumbest thing that can happen? And he does it every fucking time.
So is that his fault or is that the writing's fault?
No, but
or is that intentional?
I'm just saying it's his character. It's how he comes across, right? Like it's a character trait, like Matanza being hungry and scary. Dragon Azteca is a good wrestler that's dumb. And I mean, we know a few of those in real life. Mayhem mentioned,
doesn't that infringe a little bit on Puma's gimmick?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, we're not.
He's not dumb. He just isn't very good on the microphone yet. Anyway, so sorry, I'm not trying to harsh the guy out. I know a lot of people who listen to the show are friends of his. I apologize.
Really?
Not really. All right, so another quick thing I want to touch on.
Wrestler, but okay, yeah. What's up,
no, he's great. He's great. I'm sorry. He is great. We love him. He's from Boyle Heights. So we had this vote going, this poll going of if you think El Rey should immediately give the green light for some more episodes of Lucha Underground, or if you think that they should wait and potentially lose more fans and talent.
No, and then we had the second poll that I did, the unanimous poll that people would rather see us talk about the great video game known as Bad Dudes instead. And
of course it's unanimous. There's only like one vote, and it was your mom.
That was me. It was me.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? Bad Dudes is the shit because you're a fucking team of martial arts experts that just wear like wife beaters and like sweatpants, and they're bad enough dudes to rescue the president from ninjas because the president.
Well, look, if you were gonna patrol the streets, that would be the appropriate uniform, would it not?
Nah, dude. If I was gonna patrol the streets, I'd probably have like more spikes. Just because, like, I would want to feel like I was in a Mad Max movie. Maybe, like, a sweet cod piece, just because, fuck, what else are you going to get to wear a cod piece? You know? I'm not Paul London.
Labyrinth Part 2?
Dude, we told you. Labyrinth, that was his dick, bro. That was not a cod piece. See, Byron's nodding, right, Byron?
Byron would know. You're the expert on these things, Byron. Byron says yes.
Big David Bowie fan. But, dude, well, we were talking about cod pieces.
No, we were going to talk about this poll of whether or not Lucha Underground Season 4 should get a green light and what's going on with this whole Lucha Underground thing. I've talked about it on this show. I talked about it on Way Too Real. I talk about it in DMs every day. I talk about it to my mom. I talk about it to everybody. There's this thing going on where there's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. And it's starting to get to the point where now guys I know that were the guys that got me to love Lucha Underground are mad at Lucha Underground for not having their shit together. And the problem is they don't even know who to be mad at anymore, even though I keep saying who to be mad at as directly as I can without
Justin, I'm one of those people, and I know who to be mad at, and I told everyone who to be mad at last week, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more clear we can spell it out, but
let me spell it out. E-L space R-E-Y. That's who you gotta be mad at, okay? There you go.
Yes and no. I mean, you have to be mad at them from doing this thing. Let's just
higher up.
Well, but look, it's still them at the end of the day. It's their end of this puzzle that needs to get solved. I feel like they're the holdup here. You know, to put it bluntly, like, what's up? What's up? Like, come on, Skip. Come on, Robert. Can you guys not make this thing happen somehow? Can you not get somebody to shake the magic purse strings and just get this thing back? Like, why is this so dang hard? It's not like it's going to put your numbers through the roof. We already know that, but it does a solid number. The numbers have been going in a good direction. The show is still a good quality show. It hasn't declined.
Dude, especially this week. Holy shit.
Yeah,
great
this
episode.
week was great. Yeah. And we're going to get into that, and we're going to give it all the props in the world. But before we give out the props, we got to get in the digs of, dude, what the fuck is going on here? Why am I was expecting to open my emails a few weeks ago and see like hey, it's coming back, or, you know, to look at the Twitter feed and see that Not Yoni had posted that season 4 was coming back. But no, none of this.
And I was expecting to open my email and see, goddamn, pal. I thought I was going to buy it. Oh, pal.
So at this point, like, first of all, I was really hoping to like be able to plan some dates for fall to go to a couple more tapings and to hopefully get some of my friends back on the bandwagon for Lucha and get them excited about it. That's what I was hoping for. No such luck was to be had. Now, I will be happy if the show is back for tapings at the beginning of 2018. I think we're past the point of even realistically seeing a single taping happening in 2017. I think that ship has sailed.
If it takes 3 months, no way. I mean,
4.
Theoretically, yeah. Okay, yeah, 4 then.
Theoretically, 4 if you're looking historically back at the previous seasons and what it took to turn it around without previous knowledge. Like, it was a little easier between 1 and 2 because of the timeline of the pickup. But that's it. I mean, like, the timeline is blown here, guys. And like, I don't know what they do with talent at this point. You can't just hold these guys indefinitely.
Well, I mean, like, somebody's going to file a lawsuit and somebody's going to ruin the whole show doing this, and it's going to happen. And it fucking sucks, but that's where I see this going. Either they start taping.
I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know if that'll happen for a couple reasons, a few of which I can't say. But before it got really far down that line, I think that you would more likely just see some guys leaving. You know, I think it would be like some of the old days where, you know, contracts might still be in place, but at the same time, there's contracts and then there's a reasonable expectation of those contracts. And at a certain point in time, if you can't just give it a green light and let it go, you can't hurt these guys. Like, that was never the point of Lucha Underground. It was never to piss people like Trevor off or Sammy or Cobb or any of these guys. That was never the point.
No, it was to give them a sweet fucking platform to perform. And they got that, but now they can't perform.
Well, now they're getting pissed because they feel like they're being held back, but that's not what's going on. No. Nobody is intentionally being held back for any stretch of the imagination. No one is not getting money that they could be getting. There's not like some secret coffers somewhere with a pile of money that's being hidden away from them like Vince has done in the past. There's not some pay-per-view revenue that's not being shared. There's not some great T-shirt sales that is, you know, missing from people's pockets because that money was always earmarked to pay back the initial investors in Lucha Libre FMV. So it's not like the talent is missing monies, but what they're missing is opportunity. They're missing there's not going to be a smooth flow to it. These guys are starting to get over now. Like, you see Sami Callihan finally in a good gimmick that gets over, that isn't the crap that he was doing in WWE. And thank God for him, he's taken it out to the indies and like inhabiting that character, and the stuff he's doing at Wrestle Circus and some of these other places is phenomenal. And then you got guys like AR Fox, who hasn't turned on social media ever, who is being skyrocketed into the limelight by Lucha Underground. But there's not going to be any momentum to it at this point. What's going to happen? We're going to get to this awesome Ultima Lucha Tres season finale ending, four-parter, it looks like. I just saw the whole rundown. of the remaining episodes. You got that coming up. You got this awesome, celebration of things at the 100th episode for Lucha Underground. You've got this big Ray Johnny match coming up. There's big stuff coming, and there's not going to be any way to follow it up.
No, and it's
without a green light for season 4. There's not going to be any live touring.
Yeah, no.
Like all the stuff we were hoping for before, the extra stuff, they can't even get the regular stuff to happen right now.
Right. And
so everybody's talking about more T-shirts and merchandise and touring. And
don't even worry about that. Yeah, it's like, come on.
Thinking about any of that. All you should be worried about right now is, are they going to get a season 4 in the foreseeable future? I do believe it's going to happen at some point. But waiting till summer of 2018 before a green light comes for some new version of the show because everybody's gone, that's not acceptable.
And you know what, Justin?
Unacceptable.
I'm going to give the audience something good to watch in the meantime. How about that?
Okay, please do. Is this your match of the week?
Fuck yeah, it's my match of the week, Justin. Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new segment, Casey's Match of the Week.
Professor Casey at Lucha Gringo. What's up? Go to my Twitter right now, at Lucha Gringo. And check out the pinned tweet there. That is my match of the week for this week. And I am a globetrotter when it comes to professional wrestling. And I brought you something from Argentina. Okay.
Now, what's the name of this promotion? Titanes something like
Titanes in NL Ring. And
Titans of the Ring, Giants of the Ring, basically, right?
And fuck, man, this promotion is the craziest shit you will ever see. And I've seen some crazy shit. If you watch last week's match with the guy wrestling the gorilla, pretty crazy. This now, you have the Lord of Darkness, Count Dracula, facing off against Tarzan.
Hey, now I live in Tarzana, so I gotta go for Tarzan here. Even though I'm in Cleveland right now. By the way, I was in Kansas City when I did Dante's show. I was in Chicago last week. I'm in Cleveland this week. I'll be back in Kansas City next week, I think, for the show. Anyway, I have a question for you about this match, Casey, because I did watch it. Was that Hardway blood?
Nah, dude, he had a fucking blood capsule in his mouth. Like, it was...
I wasn't expecting it, though. It was amazing.
Yeah, because, okay, what you guys have to see about this match without spoiling too much of it is my favorite part is Dracula fucking wrestles like Dracula. This isn't like Gangrel in the WWE, your favorite wrestling vampire, probably, because who wants to talk about Canadian vampires? But this guy, Gangrel, he would be hopping around, he'd be smiling. Once in a while, he'd spit some blood. Not very vampire-like. This Dracula, he fucking wrestles like a vampire. And what do vampires do? They bite people. And it is the highlight of the match. It's only like, 5 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. But you'll thank me after you watch the Lord of Darkness, Count Dracula himself, take on the King of the Apes, Tarzan, accompanied by Jane.
I'll give it to you this week. I think this one is actually worth a quick...
Oh, and what else is dope that you'll see in the beginning? And one thing I got to warn you, because I didn't warn Justin... For some reason, like, it only has one side of the audio. So if you're one of those one earbud people and you're not hearing something, pop in your other earbud because they fucked up the audio transfer somehow. But they have a live band performing their themes as they come to the ring. And Dracula's theme is a bootleg version of the Dark Shadows theme. And it is fucking awesome. Like, that's worth the price of admission alone. Because I don't think enough of you motherfuckers watched Survival Tobito wrestling an actual gorilla last week, and I'm kind of pissed.
It was ridiculous, man.
So
nobody knew what to make of that, Casey. Come on.
I want that feeling every week, Justin. I want them to watch that and say, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Like you did when you watched the clip.
Alberto, if Alberto is watching, he can be your gauge because you and Alberto, though he is way more sane than you, Alberto Muerto, he definitely has a similar taste to you in a lot of things. He's a He-Man fan. He likes horror movie stuff. If anybody out there can give it the seal of approval, I feel like it needs Alberto's seal of approval. And then from there, we'll know if Casey's match of the week is working or if this segment needs to be canceled.
No, you know what? What is canceled is Face Off because fuck it. And this is the new Face Off segment. Casey's match of the week.
Look, I got to tell you, I went to watch Face Off this week, and what happened was I saw that there was like 4 episodes of The Magicians that I hadn't watched. So then I watched that. And then I was like, oh shit, there's 3 episodes of The Expanse I haven't watched. So then I watched that. And then I was like, oh, this Killjoy show looks pretty good. Let me watch that. I did everything on Sci-Fi's website except watch Face Off.
Dude, you know what I've been watching is this documentary on Amazon Prime called The Video Game Years, that they go through all of the 80s and talk about the video games released. And it's like the audio kind of sucks on it, but the rest of it is pretty good. And it's just because like they interviewed people with lav mics and then like just the camera mics sometimes, and then like a boom mic.
Byron, do I have to turn you back on? Is that the problem? You can't unmute yourself, Byron? Oh, I didn't know that.
I did unmute myself.
And it didn't work?
Myself, and I've been trying to talk for like at least 30 seconds. I can mute and unmute, and I think it's independent of what you do.
Oh,
that's what's up to Alberto.
That's it?
That's all.
You did all this hand jive stuff just to say what's up to Alberto?
Yeah. Dude, Alberto's fucking, he's the man, dude. He just, like on Facebook and shit, he just took some pictures of his He-Man collection. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, sir. I will be very happy when you donate it to
He's the guy you say hi to.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we do need to get into this episode of Lucha Underground, but I promised one person out there that I would talk briefly about Game of Thrones. I'm not going to give any spoilers for people like Byron who still haven't watched it.
I can participate in this.
Nora can do this. Nora can do your
okay, well, maybe Nora can answer this question for me.
I don't want to give spoiler alerts either.
No, it's not about spoilery. Do you feel like now that Benioff and Weiss have run out of the real source material, that they're hot-shotting some of the storyline where it doesn't make sense? Like they get to big battles and you don't feel the connective tissue. All of a sudden, you know, Arya's talking to Nymeria and like you don't know why, because you're losing all this backstory stuff that George R.R. Martin would have spent 5 chapters on in a book. Like, am I crazy?
Right. And it started last season too.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I think last season is when they actually went away from the books. Like the end of season, what are we on, season 7? The end of season 5 is when the last book ended.
Yeah,
so
and they have
now
little
they've just
pieces
been
of
doing
it
the TV
left.
writers. Yeah, it makes a total difference.
And it doesn't feel disjointed, and it feels like they're hitting the high points, and the high points are really good, but I feel like the level of exposition and storytelling is not to the level that it could be. And I'm just kind of missing
cheesy.
it. Yeah. Well, as soon as they ran out of material too, I noticed that the flipping back and forth between stories got worse. Instead, they would just do 20 minutes with this character, then 20 minutes with this character, and like they forgot how to interweave the stories. So who dat?
Mm-hmm.
Who dat, Case?
It's Byron's favorite wrestler, Roman Reigns.
Huh?
Oh, is that a Shield reunion photo?
Yeah, at the fucking Burger King. It's great.
Because that's healthy.
Hey, it doesn't. Look, when you're a professional wrestler and you're living on the road, healthy is a relative term. That's all.
Right. When you're a professional wrestler and you're already on the juice, it doesn't really matter what you eat.
I don't know what you're talking about with Game of Thrones, by the way. I don't know any of those names.
Yeah, me either.
It's been 5 years. 5 years you've had to catch up.
I finished season 1.
There's only like 10 episodes a season, and now they're only doing like 7 or 8. This is not like a huge
so much rape and incest and murder at a time.
The last couple of seasons.
But you're missing all the best rape and incest and murder.
That's true.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and you become desensitized to it. You needed to be desensitized.
I actually read an article today that the girl who played Sansa, who was 12 when she auditioned to be in the show, now she's 21, that she pretty much learned everything she knows about sex from scripts from Game of Thrones when she would get her copies of the script.
That's crazy.
Really frightening. Like, I don't want to know what her love life is like. It's got to be pretty twisted.
Right.
Not to mention the fact that she's one of the characters that she's one of the characters that gets totally. Oh, is this a spoiler for you, Byron? Stuff that happened like 2 years ago on the show. Is that a spoiler for you? Yeah.
Don't ruin it for me.
Okay, how about Big Brother? Have you been watching Big Brother, Byron? It's like the best season of Big Brother ever.
I haven't, but I saw DJ on it. I saw his scene.
Oh, when he was shouting at psychopathic Cody? That's a pretty good
when he
scene.
was the crazy yoga instructor.
Yeah, I have friends that cast that show.
No, my friends, I worked on that show once.
Really?
Yeah, season 6, like
Oh, wow.
a while ago.
If you have friends that cast it, you got to get my stepbrother on there. He wants to be on badly, and he's like, you know, people that work on it. I'm like, yeah, but I can't get you on because of that.
Right now, I know people that cast it, and they were literally just searching on Facebook, or they would like post Facebook statuses being like, "We need like a weird, quirky, nerdy girl, but like it's not ugly."
Well, those people
It's the
deserve the
kind of thing they
most
look
credit
for.
for this season. Those people are geniuses.
Oh shit!
Right.
Annabelle comes out this weekend. God damn it, Alberto! Why am I doing this podcast?
It's actually out right now. I got offered free tickets to go see it, but I'm not near
Oh,
an
dude,
AMC
I heard
theater.
this one's good. The first one was a piece of shit that ripped off the ending from The Exorcist, but this one is supposed to be great.
Yeah, I don't know. The long trailer I saw of it's really good. It's pretty scary, actually.
Movie about the doll from The Conjuring.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
I edited a horror movie about a doll. It's really bad.
What's that?
I edited a horror movie about a doll.
Really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. I believe it. I believe in haunted dolls.
Hey, Byron.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about this episode of Lucha Underground because your reaction in the DM earlier was like that of a 4-year-old girl seeing the My Little Pony movie trailer. It was pretty epic. I mean, like, you are the brony of Lucha Underground.
In more ways than one.
I want to take offense to what you're saying.
You can't.
And
I'm the host.
I'm taking offense to what you're saying.
Well, don't. It's a compliment.
Okay. Okay.
I've never been compared to a 4-year-old girl.
Okay, but just tell me your thoughts on the show. I want to see if you're going to go completely out of order like normal, or if you've actually got your act together this week.
That's funny, Justin. That's funny.
Well, I have notes here. I can save him, but I'm just curious to see if he has any recollection of.
I watched this today, and I can't even tell you what the order of events was.
No, I could tell you everything about the show. It was really good. You could go to my Instagram stories to see all the vital highlights, which are pictures of us in the audience.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yes, FaceTime for us. Lots.
There was lots.
Oh,
and props to my boys, Will and Charlie, who were actually right behind us. Our newbies that came with us.
It was awesome. It was a blend of the story vignettes, like major storyline progression. And then in addition to that, they also had their heavyweights. They had Mil Muertes, 1,000 Deaths, against Sami Callihan. Those are two guys who have storyline connection.
What, Sami Callihan? Sami Callihan is in Wrestle Circus.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're talking about. Who's Sami Callihan?
Fraser's brother,
Jeremiah
Crane.
Jeremiah Crane.
He's Fraser's brother.
House on the left. And they beat the hell out of each other. And they have a connection through Mil Muertes' manager.
Wait. You've already, Byron, you've already skipped over a major plot point.
With the necklace.
Byron.
She shares a necklace with her mother, which, by the way, we just found out it was her mother.
Byron.
It's a big deal. What?
Byron, you've completely assassinated the entire Lucha Underground review portion of this show in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you believe?
How did you do that? I'm gonna have to go and edit this whole thing now. How did you go that out of order?
Don't edit it, because I am going to just completely save this, Justin. I'm gonna save it because much like this podcast having a lot of female viewers because of me, this episode of Lucha Underground will as well, because they showed my beautiful face multiple times throughout the episode. It was great. Sometimes I had a mask on, and sometimes Byron did too, because we were like Mil Muertes twins in the front row, but it didn't show him come up and say what's up to us like he actually did during the match.
Wow.
And it didn't show Tejano get fucking pissed at me during the match, which I was kind of sad because that shit was hilarious.
Okay, well, can we go back to the first match?
Dark, who's our favorite. And when
oh my God, that's
like,
the third match.
Pentagon in the Cordillera where we were. Casey yelled at him like Cero Miedo, which is Cero Miedo, zero fear in Spanish. And then Tejano looked at Casey and said, Cero Miedo this. And then he tried to do something. The Pentagon beat him.
Yeah, Cero Miedo this, and then he fucking lost. That's what we think of Tejano. How's your cheering section, bro?
Continuity so dumb. Does anybody know where this show's going?
Tejano has a cheering section at ringside.
What happened? Okay, Can I just rewind here for just a second? Just a quick second. Like, hey, the first match was super important because the rabbit's foot was actually given to the rabbit tribe, and it worked. They freaking won.
Yeah, can I shit on it though?
Paul London,
I'm gonna shit on it.
Saltador, the Gimp and Checkers versus the Worldwide Underground, Taya, Ricky, and PJ with Jack and his whiteboard. Come on, we didn't even talk about Jack and his whiteboard. That was amazing.
Jack and his whiteboard was great because he called the whole audience pendejos and they didn't even fucking get it. And it was amazing.
Do you know who was friends with the Mad Hatter?
So amazing.
The March Hare
show.
What's the story? What's the old fable of?
It's Alice in Wonderland. Jesus Christ! First of all, and the show has it all fucked up because they talk about the Mad Hatter being friends with the White Rabbit when he was friends with the March Hare, but we won't shit on that.
Look, it's really simple.
Like based off of like the LSD part of that whole story.
No, look, if you took a bunch of Molly and then you went to see A Clockwork Orange, you'd pretty much end up in Alice in Wonderland, which is what this group of wrestlers is.
Or if Willy Wonka and Alex the Droog had a butt baby, it would be Paul London. But a very talented butt baby.
Very, very talented. Best gimmick ever. So
anyway, they had a 3-on-3 match for medallions, and there's a Gift of the Gods belt where you need like 7 medallions. Each medallion represents one of the tribes involved in its ancient Aztec underground fighting league. So they were competing for 3 of the medallions, and everyone with the medallion, when they all get one, has a match together, and the winner gets the belt. And then to get to the Gods belt,
that has all the medallions.
Gives you an opportunity.
Sounds like a video game.
It's a ripoff of a show that was a ripoff of a video game, more or less. But yeah.
Okay, Casey, you said you were gonna shit on this.
Yeah. Why are you giving a fucking tag team 3 of the coins that make up the most important singles title in the promotion?
So that they can
the second
get squashed when they get to the next Gift of the Gods match?
It's okay. It's okay. You know,
Look, realistically, we're setting up squash fodder for the future, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I love all 3 of these guys. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's weird. I'm glad it's not Son of Havoc, though. That's all I'm saying. Because fuck Son of Havoc,
there's still several other medallions. So
that's right.
Look, anyway, I gotta say this: the Salty Door Checkers butt grab on Taya was a pretty bold move, because Taya is kind of a killer. I was actually kind of afraid for his life, and I don't think I caught it when we were there live.
I don't remember shit because it was like over a year ago.
What'd you say, Byron?
I was telling Nora that Taya is a female wrestler, but one who's tough and actually hang, and then according to some people, should have been champion before Sexy Star, who doesn't know how to run the ropes.
First of all, we don't need to call Taya a female wrestler because she's just a wrestler, and she's good.
Yeah.
Well, she's Canadian.
Well, okay, we can call her a Canadian wrestler.
Yeah,
we can do that.
Because that automatically implies good. More or less.
The Saltador dive over the post, I thought, was a pretty awesome spot, and I liked what was London's move called now, the long strange trip or something, like a shooting star press, basically.
It's a shooting star press. That's what it's fucking called. Matt Stryker can call shit whatever he wants to call it, but I call things what they're really called, and that was a shooting star
but
press.
I mean, since Billy Kidman, has there really been a shooting star press out there as a regular finisher?
Yes, he beat Kidman for the rights to the shooting star press. See, Byron fucking remembers. It was like the only good thing happening at the time. Yeah. They had jackets
with shooting stars, except they had to stop it because Billy Kidman kept botching it and almost breaking his neck.
Yeah, and he almost killed Chavo.
You do a backflip. It involves doing a backflip and falling forward.
But the other way.
That's what happens when you wrestle in jorts.
Other way, though.
Do you have a video of your cat?
If you wrestle in jorts,
he was wearing
bad things
wrestling.
happen.
Yeah.
He was. This isn't Itchy Kidman. This is like.
Well,
He said it was the
Oh,
jorts
God.
that made him do it, Byron. He was not wearing jorts at the time. And let me tell you something.
no.
Your
He was
favorite
not, yeah.
wrestler wears jorts, Justin.
Stop that.
But
ask him what's in the thermos.
What's in the thermos, Justin?
Vodka.
that's what he tells people. But he's a big fan.
Justin and I have the
of
same
Mundo
birthday.
Motivo.
This
and
is
we
water.
both have ginger, and we both drink vodka.
This is vodka.
This is water.
We're drinking whiskey tonight, though.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nora, remind me to tell you tomorrow what happens to Byron after 3 whiskeys.
Okay, sure.
Why are you guys talking
I
tomorrow?
can't tell you tonight. I can tell you tomorrow, though.
We
Yeah,
Um,
something Justin knows firsthand for some reason, which is really disturbing. But
I didn't press the charges, though. I did not press charges, so it's all fine. Me and Byron are good now.
yeah, you made him do the podcast instead. That's great.
Well, he's a money mark, you know. If
I
you're
don't
going to
know-
do
I
it, you
don't-
might as well get paid for it. All right, so... so we got to talk about this other segment that I think
Whoa.
you may have some things to say about, Casey.
I
This
don't know what they're talking about.
Benji and the Worldwide Underground thing.
Oh yeah, I don't like fake Paul Heyman. I don't. I really don't. And
Yeah.
I like Paul Heyman. I just don't like fake Paul Heyman. And
So, but you really think that this Benjamin character that's so-called managing or whatever the Worldwide Underground is really trying to be a Paul Heyman character?
look, he looks like him, but he basically acts like him. It's kind of lame. And I know he wasn't the original choice, but let's move on from that.
Wait. You can't do that. Who was the original choice?
About this.
It was
All right,
me.
let me turn you up, Byron.
Who was
I
the
wanna say
original
something.
choice, Byron?
I think an unfair judgment because both these guys, while similar, I think in Casey's eyes, I think that's because Casey is throwing a very negative stereotype towards a certain type of people. And that's where he thinks they're both the same because he thinks, the stereotype about them being, Jewish people who are Asian.
Oh! What are you saying? Wait, there's none of that going on here. That's not.
Jews.
No, he's
Jews,
fat.
right?
He's fat and he's balding.
You know Jews, right? Yeah. They're both.
What are you
That's where he
saying?
thinks they're the same.
Oh my God, Byron, that is
Nah.
so racist for you to even imply that, Byron.
You know what I don't like, Justin? I don't like that this noob of a fucking character is coming in and ordering around the rest of Worldwide Underground. It's like, no, fuck that shit. He should be buried up to his neck in a fucking desert by now for saying those things to Jack Evans, the greatest wrestler alive, possibly.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit of my problem with it is I really liked kind of where they were going with the Taya videotaping thing. Like,
But they've thrown that out like 3 different ways. If you're looking for consistency in storytelling, you've come to the wrong place, Justin.
Well, definitely not with the Worldwide Underground, because I feel like they had a lot of these other bigger storylines set, and Worldwide Underground is kind of this placeholder in the middle of the
Things got
season.
a little. I'm not talking about it being from like a writing standpoint. It's because shit got fucked up and they had to shoot around it, so a lot of things went kind of bleh.
I mean, hence why Jack is out there with the whiteboard. I mean, his jaw was freaking broken.
Right? Yeah, Jack breaking his fucking jaw. You had Taya with her visa issues. There was all kinds of stuff. So there was
We have like 2 more hours.
And here's the guy. No, we're totally going to be done by 10. I guarantee.
Yeah, we're wrapping in 24 minutes. So,
Well, and speaking of which, I'll use that as a segue to move on from this segment. I thought the segment was funny, though. And the verdict for me is still out on the whole manager character. Okay, Byron, now you can talk about Mil Muertes versus Jeremiah Crane, not Sami Callihan. And the thing I'll say about this match, first of all, it was 5-star, excellent match.
Loved it. And best way to start a fucking match.
Talk about it, and they just keep going.
We always keep going, Byron.
Yeah.
What
You
were
know
saying,
what?
Casey?
The best part, Justin, is they were so tired of like Melissa always fucking up the ring announcements that they just started fighting before she even did them. It was great.
Is that why they did? That's not why they did that.
Melissa Santos botches every single
Now,
announcement.
you know there's an episode coming up that's called like the Revenge of the Ring Announcer. And I'm pretty sure that might be the one where she comes out into the audience and smacks you in the mouth.
Dude, you don't remember how Howard Finkel was there and fucking won the Gift of the Gods title? You were there at the tapings, bro.
Dude, no spoilers. I'm not talking about what the Fink did. We can't do that. That's a spoiler.
But
I was just
this match. Me!
Me! So, but anyway, this match started off with a brawl, and we go to like the 5th of the commercial breaks in a row. I did not like the commercial placement, but at the end of the episode, when you realize how much they needed to get through there, it probably paid off. But yeah, total carnage. And
loved it.
I do like that they turned it into a no DQ match during the break. I like that we didn't have to get some long explanation. Like, fight breaks out, and then we just hear from the announcers that Dario was like, fine, if these dudes want to fight like that, it's no DQ. And then we just go for it. Like, no long explanation, no 15-minute Raw opening segment to explain why we're going to have a DQ match. Like, no, these dudes are brawling? Fine, no DQ match. Let's just go. Let's just tear up the seats.
We had the privilege of having Mil Muertes just murder him through a table right in front of us, and then the table not break.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
His name means 1,000 deaths. And he's like, he's been dead twice on the show. And he's just a very bad
It's a weird show. Not all wrestling is like this. This is a weird fucking show.
None wrestling is like this.
I don't know, man.
His body is the size of like a tree trunk of pure muscle.
Wow.
And he hurts
Byron would know.
real bad.
Like when he came up to me and Byron standing next to each other, he was as wide as both of us standing next to each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah, so the spear spot that was supposed to go through the table was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm turning you down for a second, Byron, because people right behind you are loud as shit.
That looked dirty as fuck. That
was crazy. But the other thing that I really liked is, for people who haven't been at the temple, you need to know that there's a clear Mil Muertes section, which is about 85% of the temple and the believers. And then there's 15% of
they're just
are in this.
Yeah, they're the dumbasses that don't move. Like, no, okay, 85%.
But for this match, I'm definitely talking about the Tejano section.
Because they got wiped out?
They did not last very long, because if you see where, seats were, they got wiped out in this match. They get wiped out in the next match.
Yeah, they need to move out of the way, though. I thought you were going to say the 15% that don't cheer for Mil Muertes are the people that he's wiped out for not moving when he says to move. Because when that guy says move, he fucking move.
They got up. Like Crystal and all those people that were sitting over there, I don't know if they ever got seats back. I'm pretty sure Stolman had their Tejano signs before Tejano even came out. During this match, like, Sammy Callahan and Mil Muertes, I'm sorry, Jeremiah Crane and Mil Muertes clearly did not want anyone to sit down, because they wiped out 5 or 6 rows of chairs. They came through the bleachers where we were to start the match, and like we weren't even in our right seats by the time the match started.
It's all good, dude. As long as we get to see the match, I don't care where I'm standing. You know?
But then it led to one of the craziest spots. So they put the chairs in, and it didn't look like a huge spot on TV, but they put those chairs in there, and they put 2 of them back to back. You know, steel chairs. Like, I take a steel chair with me everywhere I go just to demonstrate stuff like this. So there's 2 steel chairs back to back like this.
Thank you for being cool.
And then Mil slams Sammy on this part, back first.
Now, if you're going to demonstrate, you got to take the fucking bump, Justin.
Well, I can't, because I'm up too high in the air. It was like kind of... It was this bump. It was crazy. Like...
Yeah, it's not the part of the chair you want to land on.
No,
like,
especially 2 of them back to back where there's no give.
Yeah.
And it didn't even look that dramatic. It was like, you just murdered a man for a spot that wasn't even that dramatic looking. It was crazy.
But live, it was pretty fucking dramatic looking. There in person, that match was dope. They cut a lot of it out.
They had to. Once again, this is like the 3rd time in a row, I think, that one of Jeremiah's matches has been significantly shortened where we notice it on TV from what we saw live. Like, I don't know if he's just working too long or what, but it still was great on TV.
Killshot, Crane, that was them working too long, in my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, but they worked it kind of like an indie headliner.
Guys.
Yes, we can hear you.
You're here. Talk.
Guys.
Yes.
Yeah, talk.
I'm gonna say that I think that Jeremiah Crane is used to working live audiences. Did you say yes, but I'm still muted?
No, you're on.
Okay, so I think he's used to working live crowds more than TV time limits. And that's why they have to trim his stuff down. But it's also why his stuff is so much fun to watch. Also, it's gross. He spits on his hand and then slaps people with it.
And not like a little spit, like fucking loogie stream, like.
Oh yeah, if you watch that Shane Strickland match that he had at Wrestle Circus, I mean, their faces were just covered in saliva by the end of the match. It was pretty gross.
Didn't he during that match hat around or bucket around before the match? And then the fans put money in it, or I think someone did. And then Sami Callihan
just threw the money
back
back
in the audience afterwards.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, Justin, one man's gross is another man's custom tape idea. Just remember that, pal.
That's true. That's true. There's a few wrestlers that I could see getting spit on and being okay with it. Sammy's not any of them, though. I'll just tell you that right now. That guy needs to never spit on me. But speaking of Sammy and his fluids, or Jeremiah and his fluids, he of course loses this match because it's Mil Muertes and he's the man of 1,000 deaths. But Katrina, instead of giving the normal lick of death, decided to try giving Sammy the lick of death from the inside out.
Yeah, she licked him
She
on the
was
inside of his
full
mouth.
on inside his mouth.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
She open mouth kissed him.
It was like TVMA. Like it almost pushed the ratings.
It's like a fucking Eric Roberts movie.
He's like unconscious. My history. Yeah,
I popped Justin with the Eric Roberts mention.
That's hot.
Byron, gross or sexy? The lick of death in this particular episode, gross or sexy?
I thought it was funny because after she just sucked on the inside of his mouth, he was still like half conscious, but he was smiling. Just kicked him in the head. So I thought it was funny.
You know what would have been even funnier is if she just fucking threw up, but I wonder if they would have edited it from TV, and then we would have told the story and no one would have fucking believed. Shit, we should have just told the story and no one would have believed us. God damn it.
Dude, Tanya Evinger did that in Invicta. Tanya Evinger puked after a fight and then kissed Laura Sankow on the mouth.
You know, that's fine. After the poop stoppage situation, throwing up in MMA is nothing now. I mean, come on.
Sure.
But I don't see Byron explaining that backstory. But let's talk about the real reason we're here today, Justin.
We're getting there. We're getting there. The real reason we're here today is because a relatively famous comedian named Godfrey said really nice things about Pentagon.
Yeah. You know what? Godfrey is great because not many people know this, but he is named after the great director Godfrey Ho, director of Ninja Terminator. He was actually named after him. And if he wasn't, he can come on our show and tell me otherwise.
We're gonna have to make that happen then, because I'm pretty sure that's not like
named after Godfrey.
Maybe.
Godfrey Ho.
Dude, what? Do you think he's named after like some fucking knight from the Middle Ages? No. Godfrey Ho.
He's named after Gilbert Godfrey.
That's Freed. That's Freed.
They spell and pronounce their names completely differently. Homer Nixon, Jesus Christ, Simpsons reference.
Oh my god!
I wonder if he's related to this Homer Nixon fellow.
So anyway, this Agent Winter character is apparently now taking over for Renegade. So at first I was a little upset by that. Our Councilman Delgado Lorenzo Lamas is gone. Rest in peace, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Lamas was on the show, but a guy punched him in the head and popped his head like a balloon.
Yeah,
so
it was dope.
I was a little upset that he was replaced at all, but I kind of like this non-conventional casting. Like I wasn't expecting. A lot of people at first were like, "Who is this serious guy?" And it's like, that's comedian Godfrey.
Dude, you know what? First I marked out a little bit because I thought it was the dude that was Silk on Hang Time, the great TNBC comedy. But no, it wasn't. It was Godfrey. No, these guys kind of look alike.
Casey.
These two specifically. What's up? Yeah, why are you red?
Is that because you think they all look the same?
No, that isn't. And why were you red all of a sudden? Is Kane doing a run-in?
You need to stay out of my business.
Byron, Not everything is racist.
You know what? I'm just trying to make you not get tombstoned right now, bro. But you know what? Get tombstoned. I don't care. I don't care.
God.
Get dropped on your fucking head. Because you know what? Godfrey said his favorite wrestler was Pentagon Dark, and I bet it is in real life.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, so anyway, there were some really key plot elements to this that I think we may need to discuss. Like,
These are like
he says the Order has named him as Delgado's replacement, so now we clearly know we're dealing with the Order. And
Yeah, so for those of you who like really shitty PS4 games, there you go.
These are the guys who clearly want to reestablish the ancient Aztec gods into power and reality. They talk pretty openly about the Gauntlet being a god that's inhabiting Cage and almost fully taking over at this point.
Hey, Byron. Byron. When someone says the Order, what wrestling group do you automatically think of?
Byron has.
right. I can't hear anything.
No
It's fine. You know what? It's.
The Order.
I wonder if this Order's
mean
from a new world or not. Too
Oh, the
sweet.
New World. You mean?
Yeah.
Wait, For Life.
For life. Yes.
Too
Yes.
Sweet.
Too sweet. So yeah. Scott Hall is limo guy confirmed. And
No, it's not Scott Hall. It's the fake Razor
No.
Ramon
Guys,
from
guys,
Rick
WWE.
Wagner.
like, for real. Scott Hall will never get a driver's license again. He's been drunk for too much of his life.
No, dude, that's why he's in the back of the fucking limo. He wasn't.
It's
the
a
driver.
limo. He's not a
Oh.
driver. He can still be in a
Okay,
car.
that's-
They serve booze in the back of limos. It's perfect.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
Or Byron, do you think
That
it's
was
some kind
way
of
off base.
racism that's keeping him from having the part?
No, dude, he has the part.
don't-
We saw him at the
no.
temple. He went up to Vinny and said,
I don't want. I
"Hey,
don't
yo,
wanna
I'm
bring
sorry,
up
my
racism so
son's a
much.
piece of shit." Yeah, he said, "Hey, yo, I'm sorry, my son's a piece of shit, Vin man."
I'm
And
sorry,
then-
Vin man.
Guys, I do think it's important to bring up that Cody Hall sucks
Yes,
and no one should be his friend.
Okay, point taken.
exactly.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I was kind of being a dick to him.
So
Yeah.
He was a dick to our
Basically-
friend.
the
was a dick
moral
to our
of the
friend
story, the moral of the story here though is that Agent Godfrey is now inserted into this whole storyline to watch over Dario to make sure that the gods come back to power. Basically, right? Or am I missing something? That's basically what we get from this.
Yeah, and he said, "My favorite wrestler is Pentagon Dark, but his body will also burn during the end times,"
Which
that's
is
a tall order.
unacceptable. Which is
It's a
unacceptable.
tall order, motherfucker, because last time Pentagon was around fire, I saw a fat Canadian vampire roasting. So there you go.
Well, but we're basically saying
Oh,
here
it's okay,
that-
Byron. I'm working. I'm just working. It's okay.
But we're basically saying here that we're making Pentagon a babyface by doing this, right? Isn't that what
Dude,
Godfrey
what the
basically
f-
did?
What's wrong with you, Justin? Pentagon's been a babyface this whole time.
To you, but I'm saying this is now solidifying it storyline-wise that we can't have Pentagon roast in the flames of hell. So now
Tell
Pentagon
me
is going to have
one-
to be in.
Tell me one
Pentagon is going to
unjustified
have to
thing.
stop the end of time.
Justin, what unjustified evil thing has Pentagon done? And I will shoot it down as completely justified right now.
I mean, we can talk about the end of this episode, but that'd be out of order.
Dude, that was
That was uncalled for.
I called for it. Did you not see me
Well,
go
I mean, it
like
was
that before?
okay. You're right. I can't say it was uncalled for because literally we called for it. Literally, we
Yes.
asked the man to break some arms. All right, so let's get there. Let me get out of this segment. Tejano, Pentagon Dark. Let's get to this strong style cowboy versus the breaker of bones. Stiff as hell. This is Lucha Libre strong style. You got Pentagon flying. Pentagon's the high flyer in this match, which is awesome. He's flying in and out of the ring. Tejano's hitting him with European uppercuts and slaps that would
Yeah.
make your mama cringe.
And when I'm when we were talking about how they don't know how to use Tejano to the best of his abilities, this match was definitely was using.
And
the
I
best
have
of
to
his
say,
abilities.
that the only thing that was more loud and deafening than Tejano's slaps was beautiful Brenda. She was quite the shrieksome thing at this match.
You know, I appreciated what happened in the match. This was just a great episode because our boy Pentagon, you don't interfere in his matches or he'll break your fucking arm, and then he'll break your valet's arm as well. And that's all, dude. We got 2 arm breakings. So I want to give my official rating for this week because Pentagon was on the episode and he won. That's a 5 out of 5. You only need 2 things for 5 out of 5. Don't make me do any fucking division, because if only one exists and the other doesn't, then it's a 0. Because the Pentagon's on the show and then he loses, 0 points. It's either 0 or 5. So,
but this has got to rate even higher. You've got a new character praising Pentagon. You've got Pentagon breaking a manager's arms and then the manager's arms, which is a woman, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Just equal opportunity all around. And you've got Tejano not getting his arm broken and getting in some strong style. You got Mil Muertes, who's your second favorite compared to Pentagon, right? I mean, or was up there at some point.
He's number 3.
He's high on your list.
Yeah, Fox is 2 now, so he's 3. Yeah.
Okay, but so yeah, that's reasonable. But he's really high on your list, and he's putting people through tables, and that was an amazing match.
Fucking
and then
right.
You've got Paul London and his codpiece actually winning.
Yeah.
Like, this is a pretty damn, I have to say, of regular mid-season episodes that didn't have, like, a big event like an Aztec Warfare or an Ultima Lucha or Graver Consequences or something, this has to be probably one of my favorite ever episodes. That's just a regular middle-of-the-season episode. I mean, it had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's up there for me, but, you know, Kane's doing a run-in again. But, man, let me tell you, it only goes to 5, Justin, and the only way it can go higher than 5 is if Pentagon wins some gold, and we both know that's never going to fucking happen. So,
well, at this point, it's definitely never going to happen, especially if they don't get a green light for season 4. Clearly, it's not going to happen this season, so there's just not enough time left in the season to build a storyline like that, I don't think.
They had their chance at Ultima Lucha Dos, and then they fucked it up.
Well, that's when it should have happened. But clearly, I don't know if Pentagon did something to DJ backstage or pissed him off or what. But, Byron, before we talk about the last segment, what do you think about this Pentagon?
I thought it was really great. I thought it had everything you would want.
Tejano match. What? I can't. Tejano.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello? Guys.
Go ahead. Yeah, hi. Go.
Hi.
Hi, it's you.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable, and it was a good match.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that Pentagon won.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed the fact that he fought Tejano, who I also respect.
Wait, this is your expert analysis of the match?
I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable.
I like the parts where they hit each other and kicked each other.
This is like Fisher Price's My First Podcast. What's going on here? I thought it was cool that Pentagon, I've only seen him break one at a time. He breaks his arms after the match. That's why he's our favorite. Pentagon is a skeleton ninja.
And his character is basically, you know, like from Bloodsport, fucking Bolo's character.
You know Bloodsport.
He's basically
Byron, how do you make my
character.
favorite show in the world sound so asinine? Like, when you say skeleton ninja, it just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, dude. You know why, Justin? Because he doesn't spice up his vocabulary like we do, because we would say he's a motherfucking skeleton ninja.
I guess that's what it is. You need more expletives. You're in a bar in New York City, for Christ's sakes. Say the F word.
I'm in a Thai restaurant.
Okay, that makes it all better.
That makes more sense, yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
So you like the match. Good for you.
Guys.
All right, let's talk about this last segment, because I've been waiting for this one for a long time. What, Byron?
This.
Go ahead.
You see? I'm doing it. I like to do stupid stuff that frustrates them.
Why is that frustrating?
Zero miedo. Got it.
Anything that I do kind of frustrates them.
Got it.
Cero miedo.
Cero miedo.
Seattle Metal. What? I don't even know what you're saying anymore, Brian. Okay, so let me talk about this last segment here.
Yeah.
Katrina and the Captain. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Everyone knows I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Can I? Oh, we got to get my theory in there, bro. Let's do
We're
this.
gonna get to it. We're gonna get to your theory. Let me kind of recap some of this.
I'm gonna give
this
some
is
spoilers. Storylines.
All right, Byron, I'm gonna mute you for a second. You can explain to her while I'm talking about this. So Katrina says, "I thought we had agreed to stay out of each other's way," and the captain is like,
"You have to do the voices."
No, I can't do the voices.
We agreed to stay out of each other's way.
Puerto Rican, which I can't really do, and B, they're women, and I can't really do that.
Oh God, yeah,
I can't do the voices.
Okay, let me do it. No, I'm not gonna do. No, fuck it, I don't want to do it.
I don't think you want to do this one, Casey.
I don't. So yeah.
As much as I love the Casey impressions, I don't think you want to do this one.
Yeah.
And Carmen's been nice enough to come on the show too. And if you do a bad Carmen, she's going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, she's got like military training and shit. I don't need her mad at me.
Yeah, she's a former soldier. She's trained to kill people like you, dude. Though I believe she's out of the country, so you might be safe.
A lot of people are trained to kill people like me. A lot of people.
Anyway, so we get this kind of moment. It's like, oh snap! Why is Katrina in Captain Hotness's office? And
because they have to hold up the medallion from Bloodsport, bro.
I know, but that was like mind-boggling just to start. And then, they said that they agreed to stay out of each other's way, but then Captain Hotness is like, we did, but I need your help because the gods are coming, and if they're united, we're all going to suffer. And then, Katrina is being hard. Gods don't scare me. Like, whatever. You're nuts. You might have Mil Muertes, but we're talking about Aztec gods here. Come on. So she's saying that she wants the gauntlet and that Cage is almost fully possessed. Then we have her saying that she gave Katrina life twice.
Yes.
And holds up her half of the medallion. So that was an interesting little trick or something. And then Katrina says that this is not a life and she's living as a shade, and this kind of explains her weird teleportation stuff and whatnot.
I'm surprised, Justin. Continue.
Yeah.
I'll explain it. Continue.
No, so you're going to have to explain it for me. And then Katrina reaches for the captain's half of the medal, and the captain pulls it away, and she says, once you have the gauntlet, I'll give you your life back. Mm-hmm. And then Katrina says to the captain, without the medal, you'll no longer be immortal. And then the captain says, I don't fear death, I only fear the gods. And then basically we get the big revelation. Well, it seems like we have a deal then, mother or mom or whatever she says.
So she brought her to life. She gave her life twice, Justin, because, when a man and a woman get together and make a baby.
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Second one, she brought her back to life with the medallion when she died.
All right, keep talking. I got to do something.
All right. Go. All right. Justin's giving me fucking free reign here. This is great because I have a great theory for all of you right now. Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, who's the father of Katrina? And I have scoops for you. Katrina is half lizard. There you go. She is part of the snake tribe. Tell that to Dave Meltzer. Make sure he runs with it. Cubs fan. But, hey, it's just me here by myself. You got silent-ass Byron over there. And let me tell you, I love each and every one of you in the audience. I really do. Except for most of you, which I have a deep-seated contempt for. But that's it this week for Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. So be calm and stay in the mix.
Really? That's how you're going to go out? Byron, you got anything else you want to say?
Guys.
I did the sign off. What the fuck?
Guys.
We do have to go soon, but go ahead, Byron.
Stay calm and stay in the mix. That's what
I did it right. I did it right.
Stain? What is this? Oh, this is
stay
horrifying.
cool.
Stay calm and stay in the mix.
Wow.
Do it.
This is
Stay
not the
calm and stay in the mix.
No, it's be calm. And stay in the mix.
Be calm.
Be calm. Stay in the mix.
Hey, take it in.
All right.
And Paul, the answer is lower half, bro. Lower half.
Nora, don't give away your Twitter or anything important unless you want to, but thank you for hanging with us. For
Hey, thanks
Byron.
for letting me join.
For Byron and Nora in New York, for Lucha Gringo somewhere in the valleys of
At
Los
Byron Fever.
Angeles. Yeah, at Byron
At Nora's-
Fever. Sorry, I muted you. One more time, Nora.
Nora's so cool.
All right, there we go. And I'm at Justin Harvey 75. Until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.